Hi, my name is Coach Rich Piper, and I have been blessed and fortunate to spend my entire educational career in Kansas City, Kansas. And what I'm about to share with you is my version of a continuous improvement diagram and why we should be continuously improving. And by watching my former students, former players, reading about successful people, implementing those concepts in our own personal lives, and I want to share that with you. Now, what you're about to see is nothing new. All this information you've seen before. Here's the key though. Are you using that information? Are you personalizing, internalizing that information so you can be successful? So, why continuously improve? You know, everybody say continuously improve, lifelong learner, always learning. Why should I do that? So I think why we should always be getting a little bit better each day is so we can become personally, professionally, and financially independent. That's why we need to get a little bit better each day. That's why continuous improvement is critical to our success. Plus, if you're continuously improving, all the outside noise won't pull you off course because you'll be focused on getting a little bit better each day. Now, I always share with my students, I want you to be a lion or a lioness. People are like, well, why? Well, first of all, what do lions do? Lions hunt. That's what they do for a living. But I want my students, our students, to be hunting for knowledge and wisdom. So if they're hunting for knowledge and wisdom every single day, that's continuous improvement. And they're honing their skills every single day. They're going to do things in their careers, in their lives that they only ever dreamed of because they just a little bit each day, a little bit each day. Then I say, after you get in the habit of being a lion and lioness and gathering knowledge and wisdom, then also start gathering understanding of people. Because if you want to be a leader and connect with people, look for understanding, look for that common ground. Why are they who they are? So, the thought process. I'm going to summarize Think and Grow Rich, one of my favorite books ever. Think and Grow Rich, a black choice, could be a Hispanic choice, Asian choice, any doggone ethnic background. But that book says everyone in here is going to have two opportunities, but they come disguised as hard work and something you know absolutely nothing about. I'll say that again. The two opportunities come disguised as hard work and something you know absolutely nothing about. And the first chapter is thought. Thoughts are things. So Marilyn and I, my beautiful bride of nearly 41 years, our goal was, when we first got married, to become financially independent. Didn't know what that looked like, but it sounded good. Send 4 children to college debt-free. Provide for their vehicles, all the necessary things to take care of those incredible 4 children. So about spring of 2019, our youngest is in her junior year at K-State, Savannah. And Marilyn and I are at the dinner table, and I go, holy smokes, it works. She's like, what? You know, Rich having another squirrel moment. I said, honey, do you remember when we set out, when Nick was first born back in 1985 and our 4 babies came along and we were going to provide a college education debt-free, provide the vehicles, all those goals. I said, it's happened. And she wasn't surprised. I was surprised, okay? Because we just got a little bit better each day. We were getting better personally, professionally, and financially. And speaking of thoughts, there's an incredible article on CNBC talking about a mama who the school district buses were very, 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 very unreliable. So when you have small children and you're working and the bus doesn't show up, then you're staying home. So she had this thought. I need to provide reliable bus service for the children in the community. So she basically set up an Uber type where you make phone calls, she had drivers and things like that to make sure those children were safe. Well, that thought turned into a $1.3 billion business. Because thoughts are things. Now, where those thoughts start to move is you have faith. Our students come to school thinking if they get additional skill sets, and in a community college, the average age of a student is 31 years old, so they have families. They want to come in, get additional skill sets so they can better provide for their families. So they have faith that if I come to school, get the additional skill sets, I will be able to provide better for my family. Now, thoughts, faith, what the critical part of this, not the whole thing, but again, is faith leads to hope. Without hope, I don't know what life looks like. I think of the incredible folks who are trying to cross our borders and get into this country with the hope, with the chance of a better life. They travel thousands of miles with their families because they hope that if they get into the United States and can go to work, they will have a better life, which is just amazing. So with hope, though, the next step is belief. Once you start to believe that this whole process, these steps start to work, that leads to action. And look out. And that's daily action. That's the continuous improvement process. When that action, belief action, okay, because of hope and faith and a thought, that action, if you're doing it every day, becomes a habit, a positive habit. And if you have that positive habit of continuous improvement, hunting for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, remember, Think and Grow Rich says we're going to have two opportunities, but they come disguised as hard work and something we know absolutely nothing about. With continuous improvement, you have an open mind. Your mind is wide open to those opportunities. And you will see things that most people won't see because they've closed their minds. They decided it's not worth it. It's not worth it to rise and grind. It's not worth it to get a little bit better. So their minds are closing. An opportunity could stand right here in front of their face and they would miss it because their minds are closed. So that's why we share with our students. We want you to get a little bit better, continuous improvement, hunt for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that keeps your mind open. Now, continuous improvement. I've never, ever met anybody who wasn't successful, who wasn't self-disciplined. That's it. You get a little bit better each day. You are self-disciplined. This morning, had a great career fair at one of our local high schools yesterday. Was there for 6 hours engaging with young adults. That's not work. But this morning, when I went to get up at 4:30, I was like, no! And then one of the Motiversity YouTube videos hit me. And it goes like this: those days you don't feel like doing anything, too tired, too sore, those are the days that count. And I'm like, okay, I'll go work out. All right, but that's the self-discipline side. Every day thinking, how do I get better? How do I get better? Because there's so much noise out there through our media outlets that can pull our incredible citizens across the world off course. But if you're focused on getting a little bit better, that noise, that chatter, and being self-disciplined, you won't hear it like other folks do. Now, continuous improvement. That is relentless persistence. Every single day. Even when you don't want to. Everybody can do well when they feel good. Everybody can keep moving forward when they feel good. It's when you don't feel good and keep moving forward. Those are the critical days. So, also share with our students, and again, this is nothing new. Stay curious. At the Tech Ed Center, any place really in industry, there's constant change. But right now, automation is coming more and more into our manufacturing side. And if you don't stay curious about those kind of things and you get into those industries, you get into those careers, you're going to be left out. But if you stay curious, look out on the type of career you have, the type of money that you'll make. It'll be unbelievable. Now, every day, what's your plan? Everybody says, well, you got to have why. You got to have a definite purpose. Well, how do you get that? How do I get my definite purpose? How do I find my why. Now, how I found my why is by having a plan every single day. And God loved my father-in-law friend, that wonderful Irishman. We lost him many years ago. But when we were working on the house and adding on to the house, and my beautiful bride was the project manager, CEO, president of the whole project, and I was just there for labor purposes, every morning, Fran would say, what's the plan? What's the plan? What are we going to accomplish today? What top things do we want to accomplish today? So that brought in a story that I heard many, many years ago that helped my career just take off in both my professions that I'm involved in right now. And it's old, but it focuses on why it's critical to have continuous improvement every single day. So, turn of the century, 1910, Charles Schwab I just bought U.S. Steel. And U.S. Steel was struggling. So he brought in a consultant and he said, I need your help. What should we do? What should we do to help bring profit back into this company? So the gentleman said, I have got an idea. I want your entry-level supervisors, middle management, or your supervisors, middle management, and top leadership to have a mini meeting with themselves at night and write down the 6 most important things they need to do the next day. Now, there's something psychological. When you write those 6 things down, when you're asleep, you start to work on those 6 things. Wake up in the morning, review. Mr. Schwab says, what do I owe you? He says, let's see. Let's see in the next 6 to 12 months what the results are, and then you decide what you want to pay me for this idea with this thought. Remember? Thoughts are things. 6 months later, Charles Schwab wrote that consultant a $25,000 check in 1910. You do the math, rule of 72, average compound interest, and that's about $320 million today. Thoughts are things. So, you do the 6 most important things, it gives you a definite purpose for that day. It gives you a why. Why am I here? Why am I working? What's my purpose? It gives you value for what you're doing. So with that plan, and it gets to your why, your continuous improvement, you start to develop personal and professional, financial knowledge and wisdom and understanding, and that leads to independence. So I want to close with this. One of my favorite Americans of all times is George Washington Carver. And he said, common people doing common things in an uncommon way, and you will draw the attention of the world. Common people being disciplined. Common people staying curious. Relentless persistence on getting better each day. Having a plan. Having faith, having hope, having belief that if I stay the course, if I'm constantly rising and grinding to make my skills better, that becomes uncommon. So common people doing common things in an uncommon way. To me, that means these are common words. Everybody knows what they mean. The question is, are they internalizing them and make them a part of their lives? When people do that, that's when the rest of the world goes, how did you do it? My interpretation, this is what it looks like. So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to be a lion or lioness. I want you constantly searching for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. That will keep that open mind. And when those 2 opportunities come up, you will pounce like a lion or a lioness.